Stop. Close every tab in your mind. For the next few minutes, I'm not just going to explain something to you. I'm going to shift you, not with logic, not with more ideas, but with a felt experience, one that starts not in your thoughts, but in your body. Because the truth is, you don't need more understanding. You've already heard the theories, you've read the quotes, you've nodded along with the concepts, and yet here you are, still feeling stuck, still wondering what you're missing, still watching reality respond, but not in the way you hoped. So let's try something different. Not more doing. Not more thinking, just presence. Right now, let your body be still. Let your attention come home, feel your breath, feel this moment, because what you're about to experience isn't something to figure out. It's something that clicks. When you stop trying, that thing you've been chasing, that shift you've been praying for, it doesn't come through effort. It comes through alignment, and alignment happens when you drop out of your head and into your core. See, what's been holding you back isn't out there. It's not the lack of time or tools or talent. It's the loop and the one inside you and that keeps saying, I need to fix this. I need to understand more. I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong. But what if you're not doing anything wrong? What if reality has been responding perfectly to the signal you're sending? You think you're waiting on life to change, but life has been waiting on you. Now stay with me here, because this is where everything starts to shift. You've been trying to solve reality like a problem, trying to force it into place, trying to think your way into clarity. But clarity isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. And that starts the moment you stop. The moment you feel what's actually going on beneath the noise. Because here's the truth. Your external world is a mirror, not of your words, not of your effort, but of your state. And your state, it's not created by effort. Say it's revealed when you relax into the present and actually feel where you are. This isn't about pretending everything is okay. It's not about fake positivity. It's about noticing the tension and choosing not to fight it anymore. And when you do that, when you stop pushing, something opens. A space inside you. And in that space, something ancient, something true, clicks. Not an idea, not a belief, but a shift. You feel it in your chest, in the way you breathe, in the way the world suddenly seems less against you and more like it's responding to you because it is. And that's the point. You don't need to understand it all, you just need to feel the shift. The moment that happens, the moment you drop in, reality begins to rearrange. And you didn't have to move a single piece. You ready for that kind of power? Then stay with me, because this is just the beginning. Think back to that moment. You wanted it so badly, didn't you? You replayed it in your head 100 different ways. What to say? What to do? What would happen if it finally came through? And it didn't. No matter how much you thought about it, no matter how clear your vision was, how aligned you thought your intentions were, it just didn't come, it slipped through. Or worse, nothing happened at all. You tried, you visualized, you stayed positive, and somehow nothing changed. Now pause. Think about a different moment, one where everything just worked. No effort, no overthinking, no obsessing over timelines. It just fell into place. Maybe it was a message you didn't expect, an opportunity you weren't chasing, a moment of connection that caught you off guard. And suddenly, boom, it happened, like life just aligned behind your back while you were out living it. Ever wondered why that contrast is so sharp? How something you wanted so desperately never arrived, but something you barely paid attention to showed up effortlessly. That's not random. It's not luck. It's not the universe playing favorites. It's a mechanism, one that operates silently behind the scenes, one that most people never notice, not because it's hidden, but because they're too busy trying to see results. See, the act of chasing isn't neutral. It creates resistance. When you obsess over something, you send a signal, not of desire, but of lack and reality. It doesn't respond to what you want, it reflects what you are. Wanting screams, "I don't have it." Trying says, "It's not here yet." Even hope carries the energy of absence. But when you're relaxed and when you're unattached, when you feel whole with or without it, reality softens and things come to you, not because you forced them, but because you stopped blocking them. So here's the shift. It's not about how badly you want it. It's about how clearly you're aligned with already being the version of you that has it. And sometimes the only difference between what works and what doesn't is how much tension you're carrying around the outcome. When you drop that, things move. When you don't need it anymore, it arrives. That's not magic, that's mechanics. Now the question is, can you stop chasing long enough to let it come? Take a moment, look around you. The room, the people, the sounds, there's everything. Now ask yourself, what is this world reflecting back to me? It's not random, you know. It's not a mere accident that things look the way they do. Your reality is responding to you. It's reflecting the state you're in. Not just your thoughts, not just your actions, your state. See, most people believe the world happens to them. They think that things unfold outside of them, and they just have to react. They wait for life to change, for circumstances to align. But here's the truth. Reality doesn't wait for you. It's waiting on you to align with it. And this is where the magic happens. You've been thinking that change has to come from something out there, that the next big break, the next opportunity, the next lucky break will make it happen. But it's not. It's already happening right now. Your life is simply a mirror, reflecting back exactly what you're projecting. Not with your thoughts. Not with your words, but with your state of being. Think about the last time you really wanted something, not just wishing or hoping, but wanting. Desperate, anxious, wanting. Did it come? No. Because in that wanting you were already telling reality, "I don't have this, I need it." And reality doesn't answer need. It answers presence. So when you chase, when you obsess, when you need, reality just echoes that. It reflects the fact that you don't have it. But here's the secret. When you stop needing, when you step into the energy of already having it, that's when reality has no choice but to respond, not by magically giving you things, but by matching the energy you're in. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That's what Neville Goddard taught, and it's true. When you feel it first, when you live as though it's already done, reality can't help but reflect that. You can't chase the thing and have it at the same time. You can't feel lack and expect abundance. You can't believe you're not enough and expect the world to agree. But when you stand firm in your inner knowing, when you feel that you already have what you desire, everything shifts. You don't have to wait for reality to catch up. It already has. Let's make something clear. This isn't about effort. It's not about doing more, not about ticking boxes or hustling harder. The game was never about action. It was about assumption. And that one word, it changes everything. You've probably heard the phrase before, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. But have you ever really stopped to think about what that means? To assume doesn't mean to hope. It doesn't mean to try. It doesn't mean to wait patiently with your fingers crossed. It means to know, to embody, to step into the identity of someone who already has the thing they used to want. And here's the truth. That feeling, that knowing, that's the secret sauce. Because once you assume it's done, you don't need to check. You don't need signs. You don't need proof. You've already moved internally. See, the version of you who has it doesn't wonder if it's coming. They're not refreshing their email. They're not double-checking their vision board. They're just living naturally. Because when something's already yours, you don't chase it. You receive it. You align with it. You expect it. Not with desperation, but with calm certainty. That's assumption. And assumption isn't loud, it's not showy, it's subtle, silent, steady. You walk differently, think differently, respond differently, because on some level you know the world is already rearranging itself to meet you, and that shift in posture, in identity, is everything. But most people don't get there. Why? Because they confuse effort with power. They think doing is what moves mountains, but it's the knowing that moves reality. Neville wasn't telling you to sit on the couch and pretend. He was pointing to a deeper truth, that the outer world bends to the inner world, not the other way around. And when you hold the inner world steady, long enough, deeply enough, quietly enough, reality has no choice. It molds itself to meet you. That's not imagination, that's law. So next time you feel the urge to do something just to make it happen, pause, ask yourself, am I acting from the version of me that already has it, or the one that still thinks it's missing? Because the answer to that question will tell you exactly what you're about to create. Let's talk about something that sounds wrong. Doing nothing feels uncomfortable, doesn't it? Like you're missing the point, wasting time, being passive. But what if I told you that's the key? Not laziness, not apathy, but a calm, rooted, unshakable, knowing that says it's already done. So what's there left to chase? See, doing nothing doesn't mean giving up. It means you've stopped interfering, stopped trying to manipulate every detail, stopped obsessively checking whether it's working, stopped fighting the very flow that wants to carry you. And that's the moment reality breathes. That's when it starts moving again. Not against you, but with you. Because as long as you're trying to control the outcome, you're silently telling the universe, I don't believe it'll happen unless I force it. And that belief, it's resistance, it's tension. It's friction between who you are now and who you want to be. But when you drop all that, when you stop micromanaging the unfolding, you become magnetic. Why? Because the energy of already having doesn't chase. It doesn't plead. It doesn't grasp, it receives. That's why the things you care least about show up so easily. The texts you didn't expect. The money you weren't even thinking about. The moment you stop checking, boom, it happened. And the things you want the most, they take forever. Because you're trying so hard to make them real. You're reinforcing the idea that they're still far away. Doing nothing means letting the version of you who already has it take over. Letting that energy speak louder than your doubt. Letting go of the need to constantly prove that it's working. It's not about faking detachment. It's not about pretending you don't care. You can't lie to energy. You can't trick the mirror. So here's the real move. Stop performing. Stop waiting for signs. Stop poking at your manifestation like it's going to bloom faster if you stare hard enough. Let go. Completely. Because when you truly step into that inner version of you, the one who already has the thing, there's nothing left to do. You've already arrived. And when you live from that place, everything else just clicks. No more trying, just allowing. That's the power of doing nothing. Here's the truth no one likes to admit. You're not in control, and deep down you know that. That's why you feel the anxiety, the pressure, the need to check, fix, force, predict. Because the more you try to control the outcome, the more it slips through your fingers. But here's the paradox. The moment you let go of control is the moment things actually start to move. I know, sounds backwards. Everything you've been taught says, take action, stay on top of it, make it happen. But manifestation doesn't respond to force, it responds to frequency and control. That comes from fear. Fear that it won't work out. Fear that you'll miss the window. Fear that if you're not doing something, you're doing nothing. But detachment, that comes from power. Letting go isn't giving up. It's stepping into the version of you that knows it's already done. The version that doesn't need to micromanage the universe. The one who's so locked in, so secure, that it feels foolish to even question the outcome. Think about it. If you already had what you wanted, the relationship, the opportunity, the money, would you be doubting, checking the clock, pacing? In your mind, no. You'd be living, relaxed, present, trusting. That's the energy. That's what pulls everything in. Not your effort, but your stillness. Letting go means this. You stop asking when. You stop needing to know how. You stop running mental simulations of every possible scenario just to feel safe. Instead, you breathe. You let things unfold. You make peace with not knowing, and in doing so you know, because the part of you that always wants to make it happen is the part that doesn't believe it already is. And until you release that grip, reality can't fully deliver what you've been calling in. So what do you do when the doubt creeps in, when the wait feels long, when your mind wants to check the timeline again? You do nothing, not out of apathy, but out of certainty. That's the practice, that's the mastery. Let go of control, not because you gave up, but because there's nothing left to control. There's a certain energy. You know it when you feel it. It's calm, certain, unbothered, rooted in something deeper than logic. It's not loud. It doesn't beg for signs. It doesn't ask, is it working? Because it already knows. That's the energy of already having it. Not pretending, not acting as if, not repeating affirmations on loop while your stomach is tied in knots. It's a quiet confidence, a shift in posture, a tone in your inner voice that says, this is already mine, and it's that energy, not your vision board, not your journaling routine, that pulls things into form. Here's the thing people miss. You can't fool your emotional state. You can't say, I'm detached, while underneath you're panicking about when it'll show up. You can't tell the universe, I trust, while constantly looking over your shoulder for confirmation. It doesn't work like that. Reality doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you are, so the question becomes, how do you stay in the energy of already having it when the thing hasn't shown up yet? How do you hold the frequency when the world still looks the same? The answer: you stop needing proof. You stop using time as your scoreboard. You stop using silence as evidence that nothing is happening. You stop letting your 5 senses dictate your internal state. You decide that it's done, and you hold that frequency like it's your native language, even when it's quiet, even when nothing seems to be moving, especially then. Because here's the truth most people run from. The gap between intention and manifestation isn't punishment. It's not delay. It's alignment. It's the part where the outside is catching up to the inner shift you've already made. And if you can stay steady there, if you can maintain that internal certainty without collapsing back into doubt, you become untouchable. Your state becomes magnetic. Reality bends, and it doesn't take time, it takes match. So next time you feel yourself slipping, spiraling, questioning, pause, don't react, don't force, just breathe. And remember who you already are, because the energy of already having it doesn't chase, it attracts, it waits, not out of desperation, but because it knows there's nothing left to wait for. So now you've done the work, not the hustle, not the constant effort, but the inner shift. You've stopped chasing. You've settled into knowing. You've stepped into the energy of already having it. Now comes the hardest part, and the most powerful one. Silence, that space between intention and outcome, where nothing seems to happen, where your mind starts to whisper, did it work? Is this really happening? It's quiet, unsettling sometimes, because the old you craved noise, craved signs, craved something to hold on to. But this new version of you, the one you're stepping into, it doesn't need confirmation, because when you're truly aligned, the silence isn't absence. It's rearrangement. It's recalibration. It's the space where reality is catching up to your frequency. And that space? It's sacred. Most people can't hold it. They flinch, they question, they start adjusting, fixing, forcing again. And, just like that, they fall out of alignment. But you don't need to do that anymore. Because now you understand something deeper. The silence is the sign. It means the shift already happened inside you. Now the outside just needs a minute. So, here's the final step, the one that locks everything in place. Make peace with the quiet, not just tolerate it, not just survive it, but relax into it. Keep living, keep laughing, keep moving like it's already done. Don't wait. Don't pause your life. Don't sit in stillness hoping to see movement. Trust that it's already on the way. Because it is. In fact, in a higher sense, it's already here. But only when you stop reaching for it will it fully arrive, and when it does, it won't feel like a shock. It'll feel like coming home to something you've always known was yours. So the next time your mind gets loud, the next time doubt knocks and silence feels too heavy, do nothing. Not out of fear, but out of certainty, because now you understand that the most powerful thing you can do, the thing that unlocks it all, is to stop doing.